Welcome back to the Bluechip Breakdown. Vols fans and everybody else, we are your hosts, Bull and P, and we apologize for a little bit of a late start, but it is football season, and both of our nephews had some scrimmages today. They ran a little bit over, but we got here as quickly as we could. Everyone should be here from LSU, NC State, and also Alabama. So who's it going to be, P? I mean, how you feeling about all this?
I feel very confident, man. I mean, it seems like all the insiders are, all Vol. And just when you talk to him, it just seems like Tennessee's team he likes. I know someone's talking about an interview he did the other day. I think it was with On 3 or something. You look in the background. He has a picture of Coach Heupel is actually hanging up there on his wall. I think it was maybe a newspaper clipping or something like that of Coach Heupel.
Yeah.
So, I just think he loves Tennessee. I think that's his team. And I think we're going to be getting some good news here in about, what we got, 30 minutes or so?
Yeah, so it's actually probably about 15 minutes. So the stream is supposed to start at 3 o'clock, and we're going to take y'all all the way up to that. We'll talk a little bit about Faizon, if I could talk, and then we are going to talk some about our football team fall camp. As long as we have enough time, and I think that we will. But I just want to make sure that everyone can indeed hear us. Let's check in on this poll real quick, Pete. We've got 97% of people saying that Tennessee will end up landing Faizon Brandon, and 3% is saying LSU.
Yeah.
So I would love to know, is that an LSU fan? If it is, y'all are more than welcome here.
Yeah.
If it's a Vol fan, I think that y'all need to start paying a little bit more attention to what's going on.
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. I mean, heck, hey, we love LSU around here. We're not LSU fans, obviously, but we love those guys because they go out there, they compete, they'll take.
I wouldn't say that we love them.
I mean, we don't love them. We don't love them. But
we have respect.
We got respect for those
LSU.
guys. Yeah, great way to put it. We got respect for those guys. So if you're here, welcome aboard.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go on ahead and get into Faizon. And again, y'all, if you're just now joining us, we will be showing Faizon live as soon as that stream comes up. We're watching it very closely, but we're just going to take y'all all the way up to it. So let's start off though by taking a look at Faizon's profile according to On 3, right? Because you can see everyone else's, but he's a 5-star right here. And whenever you look at 24/7 Sports, I think that they got it right. They have him as the #1 player in the entire country. And I feel like he's a guy that could be very, very special for us. Now, this is some of the key points with Faizon. 6'4", 200 pounds. I'll call him a balanced quarterback because he can operate from the pocket, he can operate on the move, and he can also make you pay with his legs just by running that football. Also, he's very accurate with the ball. Like, it doesn't matter if he has pressure in his face. Again, if he's on the run, going out to his right, to his left, or if he's just in the pocket and there's no one there, deep, short, intermediate, it does not matter. He's one of the most accurate quarterbacks I've seen in a very long time. And he's also very smooth. Yeah. Whenever I say smooth, I'm talking about with all of his operations, starting off, from getting that snap, because they operate a lot out of that pocket. He's able to get the snap, looks very smooth. And, his pocket presence in general. I mean, he glides around that pocket, but whenever he throws, whenever he runs, everything he does is very, very smooth. And he has outstanding touch. I think that he might have some of the best touch that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, just honestly speaking, I'm trying to think back to a quarterback that had touch that was on par, or obviously there are some that are on par, but he's definitely elite as far as his touch goes.
Yeah, he's got that. He's got that touch. I almost call it kind of that Steph Curry touch to his shots. Like, I mean, he just kind of flicks his wrist, can drop it in the basket. I love his release. He's got a lightning quick release, and I think that's something you rewind, a few years. You want, scouts kind of want to see that over the top release. Now they kind of like that 3/4 release because it's quicker and you can be accurate as well. You see him there just dropping it. This is what we talked about, dropping it in the basket. He does that pretty much at will. I mean, big, strong kid, 6'4", 200 pounds. I think he's a little bigger than that. Still growing. Don't surprise me he's up to 6'5", 220 by the time he's playing up on Rocky Top. But I mean, you love his film, and like I said, very athletic kid. Doesn't run to get yards necessarily, runs to buy time. See him kind of escape a little bit there. Tries to buy time, but he can run lower shoulder, get yards. So this is a dynamic player, and hopefully he'll go and start recruiting that North Carolina area, which I hear has a lot of really good prospects in the 2026 class and beyond. So would be a huge pickup for us.
Oh, I mean, listen, absolutely, no doubt. Like, North Carolina right now, and I've said this before, P, on the streams, North Carolina reminds me a lot of Georgia 10 to 15 years ago, whenever things really started to pick up. And it's not, Georgia's always had a bunch of talent. I think that North Carolina has as well. But with Georgia, being one of the premier states for talent, for football talent, really all talent in the entire country. That's kind of recent. You know, people are just starting to take notice. North Carolina is next up. And like you said, Pete, it's huge to add, if we can, a player, you know, of this caliber, like Faizon Brandon, who is from North Carolina. You know, he's actually from Greensboro, where one of our favorites, Hendon Hooker, is also from.
Hendo.
And and so, you know, Faizon was actually trained some by Hendon Hooker's dad. You can see some of the similarities in his game as well. But there's so much talent. I mean, we can talk about what we have already, you know, on this team currently. You know, you can talk about guys like, you know, James Pierce,
David Hobbs, Jalen Wright just left. You know what's crazy? What's Coach Heupel do for 2025? Goes out and gets George McIntyre in a year where Tennessee football has had a really good class. Gets his lead recruiter, gets that guy early, and it looks like he's doing the same thing in 2026, going against Faizon Brandon in a year where NC has a chance to have a really, really good crop of players in their state. Goes out and gets that spokesman, that ambassador for the program in state. And I mean, he's just, you know, you heard Josh Pate talking about 247 Sports, talking about how analytical he is with who he picks. You know, he sits down, thinks about it. You know, chess, not checkers. I think this is a big time chess move he's making if he can make this, you know, get this commitment here today.
It's going to be so big because, you know, again, I mean, the 2026, 27, and beyond classes in North Carolina is ridiculous. So that's a place that Tennessee, whenever Tennessee's good, we pretty much run the state of North Carolina. We're getting back to that. It's crazy that Coach Heupel comes in, inheriting everything that he did, and he's able to kind of turn things around. Now, listen, we're giving a whole lot of praise and accolades, obviously, off of what, you know, what's happened previously, but, you know, Faizon is not committed just yet. So I just want to make sure we clear that up, because I know that we are just giving a whole lot of praise. But, yeah, I mean, we're very excited and happy about Coach Heupel. I think that a lot of that, too, Pete, is because we hear some of these coaches of these players, or I'm sorry, some of these, well, coaches and also the family members of these players, these blue chip caliber players, talking so highly of our staff. I mean, they're putting in the overtime to make sure that we're getting who we're supposed to be getting. But with all that being said, P, let's talk a little bit, because we've got about 9 or so minutes. Let's talk a little bit about fall camp and what we saw and heard today. I think that, I mean, at least for me, the linebackers was kind of the story, because, you know, that's pretty much who we heard from. But what were your takeaways from what you could see from the practice clips and from what you heard?
Man, I think linebackers look good, man. I think everybody's, you know, you can tell they've kind of trimmed some of that fat. You see Aaron Carter talked about how much weight he's lost. Said he got up to 240 last year, which I'm pretty sure you mentioned at some point during the season. That looks like he's a little too big. And he kind of admitted that. You know, now he's down about 225, which is kind of the prototypical size these days. You want guys that can run, hit, cover. And, you know, for him to be a, you know, rocked up 225, back to his kind of what we saw in high school, his film, a guy can fly around, a running back playing linebacker, but has the physicality of a linebacker, but athletic like a running back. He's going to be a guy. And just my big overall theme of what he said, what Coach Inge said, and even hearing Edwin Spillman talk too, is they're so in tune with the playbook. They talk about knowing all 11 is what is kind of the term they use. Knowing what every single player on the defense is doing on any given call, in any given situation, to any given formation or look you see. I mean, that's huge, man. You guys have no idea how big, because now you know what the guy behind you is doing, the guy next to you is doing. So now you know where you can be strong. You know what I mean? You know where you have to really kind of play hard. So I think this linebacker room is going to take a huge step forward. I mean, we got a room full of guys. I mean, I think Caleb Perry looks good wearing number 8 out there. Kenan P looks good anytime you see him. I mean,
Jeremiah T-Lander
is going to be phenomenal. I mean, Edwin Spillman looks like a guy. You hear
Jalen
Smith.
I mean, he looks like he's also cut some weight.
He's one of those things about, you know, so I mean, just, you know, the strength staff, the nutrition staff, the Coach Inge, we love Coach Inge. I mean, it's just so many things we could talk about this linebacking core, but I'm just excited about this group, excited about defense overall. But there's a lot to be excited about with this linebacking group.
For sure. So actually, I'm gonna kind of backtrack just a taste, and as far as the injury report goes, because we normally do that to start this off, and we are kind of doing our day 3 thoughts along with Faizon's commitment stream. We're doing that all into one. And we're going to have to, we're kind of crushed for time. But let me say this real quick. As far as the injury report goes, sounds like we're good. Sounds like Lance Hurd was doing a little bit more moving around out there. I think that Cam Seldon might be ready by week 1.
Says a lot about him.
I think he might be ready. Like, it's being talked about a little bit more and more. But we have to, you know, pause on that, wait and see. But also, Mike Matthews is actually getting reps. I think we talked about that in the video on, what was that, Wednesday, whatever day it was. We talked about that some. Is he getting any reps? It sounds like he has been. So that's that's phenomenal. But we're very deep up front. Okay, so we already know on the D line, I mean, just like that type of depth is stupid.
Yeah.
Like there's nobody in the country that has more depth than we do right there. I mean, maybe you could say someone's tied with us, but
Yeah,
but I dare someone
show
to try
me.
to, yeah, yeah.
Show
I mean,
me.
I dare someone to tell me that they're deeper up front on defense than we are.
Yeah.
But like you said, Pete, talking about those linebackers, hearing the way that they're talking, kind of, seeing, like what their mindset is, right? Because it's a lot of talk about from everybody, right?
Yeah.
Like the veterans didn't come back just to have a pretty good team. They came back to win the whole doggone thing and get their draft stock up. So, it's great to see some of those young guys kind of buying into. You have a veteran leading that entire linebacker room with Keenan Pili. I love it. Like
I love it too.
I feel very, very confident. Arion Carter, I'm happy that other people are kind of talking. So Coach Ings called him the cheetah. I'm happy to hear that because I was like, dude, is he this fast or am I seeing that?
Yeah, you're right.
He is shooting out of a cannon. So you have to be just extremely excited. We're so deep. I would say that we're 3 to 4 deep. That's better than anything that Coach Heupel has had, period, since he's
I'd
been
say
up
so.
on campus. I don't know if you would agree
Yeah,
or
I'd say
disagree.
so. I mean, you think back to his first couple of years, you had remember Jeremy Banks was there, Jawan Mitchell. But Jeremy Banks was kind of a sometimes type of guy.
Yeah.
When he turned it on and wanted to play, he was really, really good. Same with Jawan Mitchell. But those guys weren't consistent. And I don't think either of them were, Jeremy Banks was athletic. I don't think either of them were as athletic as Aaron Carter or Keenan Pili.
Jeremiah
Maybe, yeah,
Telander?
about say maybe not even Jeremiah Telander either. Because he can go too. So I mean, this is a well-rounded group. Still want to hear something about Jordan Burns. Is he there? I want to see him. I mean, seriously, I want to see him because this guy, you guys know, I was big on. But overall, man, that room should be really, really good. We're 3 or 4 deep there. I mean, easy.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Like that 3 or
Like
4
Mike
deep.
and Will.
Yeah, that 3 or 4. So Mike and Will, we got. Also love the thing we're talking about. So that is going to be very big because it's a game of now. Let's get to some of these chats right here. Merchant, man, no disrespect to him, of course. You know what? I think like SEC, but I don't think that's too far off. I think the Faizon is very special, and he's different from a Nico. He's not like they operate different. I would compare him more to like a Jake Merklinger, just as far as the way they operate, and I would compare G-Mac more to a Nico because they're more like you might get more interceptions, but you'll more touchdowns. Let me talk about Jake Merklinger. We call him Merk. We talk about these are guys that will take football and operate with ultimate efficiency. So I most definitely feel where he's coming from with that. But yeah, I mean, it's a great situation for us to be in right now. Let me also get right here. So Detailer says that he's in the 2.0. Yeah, for sure. I think he could be a little bit better. Usually when you train somebody, you hope that they are better. Right here we have Jeff Claymo, and let me just thank everyone, members, for being members. You can become a member by clicking the join button on this video. Also, y'all, please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you are subscribed. Right? Like we talked about this in the last video, Pete. We had a whole lot of people that ended up subscribing because they probably want to actually subscribe. So just please make sure that you look down there and it says subscribe to ED at the end. So it's part of the channel where you can post. Right here we have Jeff Claybo. Says, I appreciate you for tuning in. Let's see what else we got right here. So G White, G White says, "Let's go, go big on." I love it. I love it. Jeff Claybo's also saying, "All happy." I love it. Timmy G, right here. What's going on? Timmy G says, "North Carolina has always been a huge state for us to recruit when Tennessee is good." That's the 100% fact. Appreciate that, everyone, for coming in. All right, so now looks like we have actually got some things up in Adam. Get those. Which,
Yep. So I wonder if he was wrong.
we're gonna take that out. For now, but we are still watching it just to see. Like once Faison comes up, then we will switch back over. But let's continue to go through all the chats and everything else. And hey, listen, we appreciate y'all so much for tuning in with us. We're gonna check back in on that poll here in just a minute. But right here, we also have details saying that Central North Carolina, along with Central and West Tennessee, is becoming really hot there. Yeah, I love the fact that it's getting hotter because those are spots we're supposed to dominate. All right, so looks like we got through all of the members, and I'm going to go through more people right here. We've got Corey Aldridge. Corey says, "Come on home to Rocky Top, Corey. We heard that you just got out of surgery, and we hope that you are doing well. We have been praying for you. So, we hope that everything is going well with you. Thank you for being here. We already know, man. Everyone, this right here is like an escape to just watch. Any of this type of thing. But there are things that are bigger, and we most definitely get that. So, we do appreciate you for joining us, and we do hope that you are getting better in the future. Let's get on to Ethan right here. Says, "Hey everyone, let's see this, this one is from Shady Wolf. He says, "It's the future of how far we're going in recruiting. I promise you, he's coming, and when he's picture, but all the world is watching. All those kids were coming."
That's a great one, man. That's the thing. I think we got such momentum right now. I think this just kind of adds. It would be nice to go to Atlanta while get one guy last night didn't happen. But we get one tonight, and I think we got some more coming up here. I know we got Davis coming up, so the momentum we got heading into the season is huge right now.
Absolutely. Let's get to another friend right here. Mike Harmon says, "Hello, boy. Bring it on home, Faizon. Love it. Thank you so much." And let's get this right here from Green Wave. Says, "Faizon making it look easy out there again. Faizon is a dog. But we're just waiting on him to come on home, man. And just waiting on everything to kind of come all the way up right now. They're still just kind of going through this. I just wanted to bring this up just so everyone knows exactly what's going on. Yeah. So we are paying attention to the team. Let's talk a little bit more about our team. Like this is for all the real ball fans. We talked about the first and second ball defense. What about that secondary? What did you see in the secondary that either gives you some confidence or gives you some pause in 2024 season?
Secondary looks great, man. I think they're being coached up well. You see a lot of really good footwork and the footwork drills. Everybody seems to be able to get in and out of their breaks because DB is one thing you need to be successful at this level. And you see guys that are versatile, guys that can do multiple things.
All right, so
here he is.
All right, so we're gonna switch it up.
I was going to commercials. I think Shad's coming up next. Yeah, I think that's coming up next.
Okay. All right, so we are literally just moments away from Faizon officially announcing where he's going to be going off to play football at, and we were just kind of talking about that secondary. I want for you to finish.
Yeah. So secondary looks really good, man. We're really athletic in that group. I wish I knew who kind of these supplemental coaches were. I know I saw a guy working with him today.
Yeah.
Was getting on Jacoby Thomas, getting his head, had his head down tackling. Like, those little things, man. And then the guy that was with the safeties. Well, he wore the glasses with the safeties. He was with them last year as well. I'm not sure what his name is, but he's the guy getting these guys right, man. They're teaching these guys the right things, footwork. So it's gonna be interesting to see kind of who emerges from that group, man. Jordan Thomas looks really good out there at safety. Also star too, obviously, as is Boo Carter is good to star and at safety as well. Jacoby Thomas, I think, I would say Turntime's a for sure guy, and I think Jacoby Thomas is probably gonna be a for sure guy. I think Jordan Thomas is probably gonna be a for sure guy.
What about Christian Charles?
Hey, Christian Charles.
Christian Charles gonna work his way up.
Hey, I think he will. Maybe. I mean, and here's the deal. You remember back his true freshman season, the staff was highest on him. He got came in, didn't do so great, but
actually played.
He played, got hurt, kind of got forgotten about, but he's a guy too. So I mean, we're loaded that. Just like we talk about linebackers, D line, we're loaded there as well in the secondary.
Yeah, quietly loaded. We've talked a lot about it. That's been a position of concern for us. But we've known, and really for me, that concern started, and not to try to discourage anybody, but once I started to hear that maybe Will Brooks will be a starter, I said, well, wait, maybe we're wrong, maybe we're not seeing.
And he's looking good too, Quiet Cat. He's looking really good too.
He's looking good. So I think that we're fine there, y'all. I think we're fine pretty much everywhere. You know, I will try to find a place where there's some cracks inside of the dam, but at the end of the day, I feel very confident. I think that we are at least 2 deep at every single position. Coach Heupel has never had a team anywhere near that. And then whenever you talk about up front, I mean, you could talk about across the entire board. We've got way more depth there. I mean, we've got some guys that can really go out there and play, and that's where it counts at the most. So.
I'm very excited, man. It's just crazy to think how far this team's come. You know, with from a depth perspective, from where Heupel took this thing over, man. Because now you turn on the film, you watch practice, man. I mean, you see guys all across, like who's that guy? Who's that guy? Who's that guy? And they all look prototypical NFL caliber guys. Speaking of NFL caliber guy, I got a glimpse of Jeremiah's Hurd. He was giving somebody a look. He kind of lined up as like a DN, just kind of like a walkthrough type of look. But man, you talk about a guy who looks good. I mean, 6'8.5".
Yeah.
Looks like he's about. I mean, just I'm serious. Like stomach is super flat. Like just. I mean, he's going to be a guy, For sure. And we're just loaded, man, across the board.
Yeah, I mean, I'm extremely excited. I know that, in the highlights and stuff that we had put out earlier, I got to see Jesse Perry, and I love the way that he's able to get up to the second level. Great, of course, like they're just going through some regular drills, but the way that he got up to the second level,
I said, wow.
Yeah, I mean, that is impressive. And that's what I saw the exact same thing from Sham. Whenever you see guys that have that sort of a burst and a pop playing at that position, you got to be very excited because really playing guard, of course, you're asked to do a lot, but inside of our system, can you just hold up in pass protection? Can you get a push? Okay, in run blocking, and if you can get up to the second level like that, that's another level, which is why I still think that, there's some veterans there. I still like Sham to end up maybe winning that position battle.
Very well made.
But again, I mean,
very well made, man.
There is just so much depth there. Yeah. Now, what do you think about the backup center spot? Because there's been a whole lot of thought, maybe pause, concern right there. Faizon Lang, I feel like he's cut some weight. I think he looks a little bit faster. I don't get like this. We're so concerned. Obviously, we don't see enough clips for us to get there. But from what I saw inside the orange and white game, did he maybe give up a little bit of ground? Sure, he did. But does that mean that he's not ready to daggone play? I don't think so. Actually, let's get it.
Came back this started taking a breath.
Hey man, so you know what? This kind of puts me back in the mind of that Hall of Fame game. Like, remember, like, well, you might not have seen it, but so in the Hall of Fame game, there was like this big weather problem, and they had to like pause the game, and they had to keep going back and forth, and they were just winging it and all that. And I was like, man, they're really good to be able to do that. So anyway, this is kind of what we're doing right now. But I mean, we can talk Tennessee football all day long. Yeah. But is there a position or is there a player, whatever, that you saw that really stood out to you?
You talking about from the practice today or just as overall?
I would say just overall, but also maybe some from the practice today.
Like I said, I mean, Jesse Perry, he's flashed. I mean, he's a guy, going back to his film, we said, hey, this athleticism could be a problem here on this level, and he's showing it. But he's definitely flashed. I think all the linebackers have flashed. The entire D-line's flashed. We saw Jordan Ross today, first time, and with shells on. I mean, gosh, dude, this guy looks like he's like 250, 253. I mean, he's a true freshman. Okay, this kid he's been here about 2 weeks. Yeah. I mean, the whole entire team looks phenomenal. I think Jake Merklinger looks good playing backup QB. Yeah. I mean, you can jump all around this team. You can take a dart, blindfold, throw out a board, pick a position. There's somebody there that you love. You know what I mean? Like,
without question. So you know what? Let's talk specifically some about the running back room. I don't think we've really touched on them. But what have you seen out of that room? Obviously, we haven't seen a whole lot. But what have you seen? What have you heard? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, haven't seen a ton. I think biggest maybe kind of thing that caught my eye, I think it was day one maybe. We saw a glimpse of Deshaun Bishop, and he looks like he's solid, put together well. Yeah. He's a guy, I think he's ready.
Runs hard.
Runs real hard, man. I think he's ready to help this team. And if it is Sampson and then him, I think he's a guy. But, we talked earlier about Peyton Lewis as well. I mean, he's a guy that we heard his interview a couple days ago, whatever it was, after practice. I mean, he's a guy that just exudes confidence to the highest level. I mean, he's like that type of confidence. To me, it's not a manufactured kind of fake bravado type deal. I'm this confident because I know who I am. I know what I can do.
Yeah.
And I think that speaks to his skill set and his ability. He's a guy. I think you touched on this too, and maybe your last video before, you touched on him potentially pushing Cam Seldon as that number 2 guy, even once Cam Seldon is back. So,
yeah.
I mean, he's a guy I'm very excited about, man. So I think that room will be fine. Haven't heard much about Khalifa Keith. I don't think I've even seen him. I don't know if I've seen him yet.
Man, I have. He's big. Like he's gotten bigger.
Yeah.
I think maybe he's gotten maybe a little bit faster too.
Wow.
You know, it's kind of hard for me to because like you're eyeballing it off of like a split-second clip.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, like we slow it down, y'all. We slow it down and we're watching, paying attention and measuring things out. But I think that he does have a really good chance also. So I feel good. Just like you kind of said, P. I think we've got a lot of good young talent. I'm gonna get to something right here real quick. Just to let everyone know. So Alex Moore is saying that we can hear the audio from the commitment. Yes, we do know that. And once it does start up, we are going to bring that audio in. But we've just kind of been waiting for them to get everything out the way because they do keep on taking breaks. But I think once they come back, we should be ready to rock and roll. About 11 to 12 minutes past the hour. So, I mean, this one should be a good one. But anyway, it's kind of back to that running back home.
There it is just then.
Oh, there it is. All right, so get it going.
So when I first met Faizon, going into his freshman year, he just turned 14 years old. And the first time I meet Faizon, I was looking up to him. I see him throw the football, I see him move around a little bit in my first workout. I told Daryl after that, I said, Daryl, I think he's going to be pretty good. When I said pretty good, I didn't know he was going to be the number 1 player in the country at that time. But what Coach Brown said is, you know, over the last couple of years, Faizon has really shown why he is the number 1 player in the country. That's because of his work ethic and his coachability. We hold all season workouts in the winter after basketball season, and most of the days, Faizon beats me to the door. He's sitting there waiting on me to get there today. He never misses a workout. He's there with his teammates every morning in the weight room. He's the first one there, the last one to leave. And then you pair that with the kind of skill set and athleticism that he has, and mental makeup, it really is something special. And then for him to be able to do this, basically early commitment going into his junior season, I know that's a relief for him, and it's very special to get that out of the way, like Coach Brand said, so that he can focus on winning and being with his teammates. But one thing that people ask, like what makes Faizon Faizon? And I would say this, never flustered. You wouldn't know if we're up by 40 or down by 40, even though we're never down by 40. But his freshman year, we're playing Reagan, I think it was like week 2 or 3. Faizon was the starter, he was backing up. He comes in the game, we were struggling a little bit on offense. I think it was the first series, maybe the first play or second play of the series. Faizon basically throws a pick 6. The guy intercepted, takes all the way down to the 1 yard line. 1 yard line, they score. Coach Brown said, we're not taking him out. I said, I agree, let's put him back in there. So he takes the field for the next series. The first play of the next series, he pulls on one of our plays, he goes 81 yards for a touchdown. I said, 14-year-olds don't do that here. They just don't. They don't have the mindset, they don't have the muscles for going to the paint. But just to see him do that, I just knew that if he had something in him special. Watch his progress over the last couple of years is exciting, and then I think it's just scratching the surface. I think Faizon can be the best. And so, you know, over the next 2 years, I think we'll see that, and it's exciting to see where he's going to be after high school. So with that, I'll hand back over to Coach Brown.
We go to Faizon, that's what we came for, so we go.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I would like first I would like to start with saying I would like to thank all of you, each and every one of you, for taking your time out today to come attend my commitment ceremony. I'd like to thank God for gifting me the opportunity to display my gifts and talents in order to be offered by so many great schools to play football at the college level. I'd like to thank my parents, Rolanda and Leonard Brandon, for making sure I always kept a strong work ethic, not only on the field, but in the classroom as well. I am forever grateful to them for all they have invested into me over the years, and I wouldn't be where I am today without my parents. I'd like to thank my sister, Faith Brandon, as she has made countless sacrifices to support me instead of getting to do other fun things that girls her age like to do. And I'm forever thankful to call her my little sister. I also would like to thank all of my family and friends and coaches, especially my youth coaches, Derek Hicks, Jason Hester, David Mathis, Toby Williams, Daryl Brown, Jesse Tripp, and my current Grimsley football coaching staff. I look forward to our upcoming season together. There are so many others that I would like to thank, including my trainer, Priest Everhart, for teaching me all the correct skills and techniques throughout the years and for being so knowledgeable and always providing advice. Lastly, I would like to thank all the colleges who took time to show interest in me to make me an offer to play football at your program. I am grateful and I truly appreciate your time and consideration. Now, from the moment y'all have been waiting for, after taking the time and carefully evaluating each of my top 4 schools, I feel the best place for me to commit to play during my college career would be the University of Tennessee.
Go Big Orange, baby. Hey, the #1 player in the whole class. Talk to him.
Let's go. We in there.
Coach Hyper does it again, baby.
We in there.
Coach Hyper does it again, baby.
We in there.
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir. That's huge.
Sheesh.
That is huge.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, go ahead and let it out, baby.
There we go.
Go ahead and let it out. Yes, sir.
Orange look good on you, baby. Let's go. That orange look good. I like that hat too.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Yes,
That's the future right there. That's the future.
Yes, sir. Man.
Heisman Trophy, national championship. How many times, Pete?
Man, hey, not 1, not 2, not 3.
Yeah, now you know we ain't gonna mess it up when they do that.
I know, right? Sure did. Yes, sir.
So there it is, your first look at Faizon.
That's huge, man. So
big one,
we
boys.
are, if something else comes up and we get to hear him speak, we will bring that back up. But P and I were just kind of talking amongst ourselves. We think that he is a future Heisman Trophy winner. There's some things that once the film breakdown comes out, that y'all will understand a little bit more about his game. But he's absolutely phenomenal. He's incredible. He's exactly what you want to start this class. We're starting off with a really big game. What do we say, P? 2025 might be top 5, but 2026 could be top 3, could be #1. You started off the right way with Faith.
Yeah, man. You always want to have that kind of that bell cow of your class, the guy that you kind of recruit and build off of. And I think Faizon's that for the 2026 class. I mean, the guy who looks the part, plays the part, acts the part, great ambassador for your program, type of guy that other players are gonna want to come in and play with. And I can't remember the kid's name, but I'm pretty sure it's a kid. I don't know if it's on his team or maybe it's in the North Carolina area that he's really good friends with. It's also a really, really highly rated recruit. I've been hearing pretty much already a lock to follow him wherever he goes. So, I mean, this is a huge, huge commitment, and I can't wait to see this guy playing it on.
For sure. So we're going to get to a few of these chats right here from John, who is a member of the channel. Thank you so much for being a member of this channel. Says, go Big Orange. Always, you know what? There's certain things in life that you never get on. Here go Big Orange, here go Balls, or here go Big Orange, or any of that. I mean, it never gets on. Rocky Top's one of them. It's a song that I can play forever on repeat. Timmy G says, hell yeah, this would be huge for building an amazing class in 2022. That's an excellent point. We feel great about what's going on right here. Mike Farmer says, you get. Let's see right here. My dog Corey Aldridge says, yes, sir. And Max Stone saying, yes. So there's a whole lot of great things going on here inside of the chat. Let's see what happens. Welcome to Rocky Top Faizon. Love it. Love to see it. Love to hear. Doesn't like they're going to be doing too much of an interview on the Faizon.
Yeah. I mean, this is I think the other teams across the country are really starting to take note of what we're doing. What we're doing.
They keep on going, getting all these quarterbacks.
Like year after year. I mean, it's not going to stop. Okay, it's going to go up from here because I think once Nico goes out here and does what he does, the first true big time recruit we had a quarterback since I've been here. I think he's going to be a guy that comes in here and he just lights on fire, and that's going to just continue to get more guys. We're going to start getting the receivers. Watch out for a guy like David French. As the season gets going, he sees us doing what we do. And they got another quarterback coming in. Watch out for a guy like him want to hop on board. These five-star receivers are going to want to hop on board too, and it's fun to watch and be part of. I tell people this all the time. Hey, let's enjoy the climb. Okay, the climb's the fun part. Once you're there, that's cool too. But the climb, enjoy getting there.
Enjoy it. We're definitely going all the way up to the top. There's no question about that. I've been hearing a whole lot too behind the scenes. Just to let y'all know, Cincy fans, about several people that I'm already talking about wanting to transfer. So we're doing a great job, and that's just all off of, it's a ton of hard work with the entire staff. Putting in that overtime is paying off, and it's going to continue to pay off. But for 2026, we're starting right here with Faizon Brandon. So that's going to be it for this one. Thank y'all so much for sticking with us, rocking with us all the way through. Please make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, share with your friends, family, and other volunteer fans. We'll see y'all in just a minute. Thanks. Peace.